Welcome back again. The topic of this short section is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is going to lead us to the next topic, which is our production possibility curve or production possibility frontier, depending on what economic textbook we're reading at the time. For some of you accountants in the crowd who make it your career path to work in the field of accounting, you're going to be dealing with all different kinds of costs, measuring costs, arranging them, dividing them up, showing how they fit into different IRS forms, etc. But I bet you never saw in your chart of accounts something called opportunity cost, because it doesn't live in the accounting world. It only lives in the world of economics. So let me give you an illustration. Assume that you went to class this morning. I don't know what time it is that you're watching this video, but assume that you went to a 10 o'clock class this morning. And I was to ask you, well, what did it cost you to attend that class this morning? You say, well, let's say the tuition was this amount, and we meet for 16 weeks, so I divide that by 16 weeks, and we meet twice a week, so I divide that by 2, and we'd come up with a dollar amount. That's the dollar amount that it cost to take that class. If you did that and you answered that way, you're answering in the fashion of an accountant and not an economist. Because an economist is going to answer that question in an entirely different way. To illustrate that, let's say, well, instead of going to that class at 10 o'clock, what other things would you have enjoyed doing with your time at 10 o'clock today? Well, today, for the first time in a long time in the spring, the sun is out, it's nice and bright and shiny, and I want to get the salt off my car, and I would like to wax my car. That's one thing we could do. Something else we could do? Well, there's this movie that I wanted to watch, and I finally bought this movie and I'm anxious to watch this movie. Or I would like to do the dishes or clean the carpet or clean up the house, or I would like to hang out with my friends. If we made a list of all the possible things that you would have liked to do at 10 o'clock today, instead of coming to this economics class that I'm assuming you went to, that list could go on and on. You could make your bed, take a shower, maybe you want to sleep in, maybe you want to go prune the apple trees. The list could go on and on and on. So which of these things would be considered an opportunity that you missed? You could say, well, I missed doing all of these things. Because in our mind, as we go through every day of our life, almost every minute or second of our life, we have this list of priorities of things that we could do and we would like to do, and in our mind we're constantly juggling this list, and whatever comes up to the very top, that is what we do. We choose whatever it is that we would rather do at that point in time than anything else on our list. Everything on the list we would like to do, but we wouldn't like to do it as much as whatever is at the top of our list. So when we talk about our opportunity cost, we're not talking about all the other things that we could have done. We're only talking about, here's what we did. We did A. We did A. If we didn't do A, we would have done B. If we didn't do B, we'd do C. If we didn't do C, we'd do D, E, F, etc. So we always wind up doing whatever's at the top of our list. If you're sitting there and all of a sudden nature calls and it's really calling, well then you're just going to have to get up out of the class and go to the restroom and take care of business and come back, because that is urgent. It went to the top of your list. Now, as soon as that job's done, it falls down here, and whatever was second goes into first place now. So we go through this process mentally every second of our life. And so which one of these would be called the opportunity cost? All of them? None of them? And here's the trick. It's this person or this opportunity right there. A person's opportunity cost is their next best foregone opportunity. An opportunity cost is their next best foregone opportunity. It's not all the other things they could have done. This is what they choose to do, because we always do what's on the top of our list. What comes in second place is called our opportunity cost, because that is the thing that we really gave up to do what we really decided to do. You're a mom, and you're taking all these classes, and you're working too, and it's time to go to class for an 8 o'clock class, but your little child was sick last night with an earache, and you're about ready to go to class, and the little child is crying and grabbing your leg and saying, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy, I don't feel good. Please, don't leave me, don't leave me." But you got to get to class on time because you got things that you just have to do. And so reluctantly, you push the little child off to the babysitter, and you say, "You'll get better, Johnny. I'll be home pretty soon." And you go to class, and you're sitting in class, and you say to yourself, while you're listening to some probably boring lecture, you're asking yourself, what kind of mom am I? Good grief. My kid really needed me. There's a time that this child could be emotionally scarred because I chose to go to class and leave my kid at home. And I'm trying to concentrate on this lecture, but all I can think of is this child ever going to forgive me for leaving them in their moment of need? And I don't know if I made the right decision or not. The point I'm making is our opportunity costs can be big costs or they can be small costs, but they are not costs that are in dollars. They are not dollar-denominated costs. Another illustration. Let's say you've got a scholarship. And this scholarship says, okay, you're going to get you're going to get another 2-year ride. Once you graduate from North Central State College, you're going to get another 2 years full ride if you get an A in all of your courses this semester. And then you'll get this scholarship, all expenses paid, for another 2 years. And you just have to make sure that you do that. So you said, okay, that's worth it. That's worth sacrificing for. I can set that goal, and I will do that. I'm not going to miss any class. I'm not going to miss any test. I'm going to be there every single time, because if I miss a class, sure enough, they're going to say something is going to be on the test, and I'm going to miss it. So I have made a commitment that I'm going to be on every class because I am going to get that scholarship. One of the conditions of the scholarship is you have to have full attendance or some record of being in a hospital half dead or something like that. But it just so happens that you have a twin, and that twin is in military service, and the twin calls you and said, this is really important. I'm going to be on a mission that I don't really know if I'm going to be back again or not. And there's some things about the family that I really have to tell you. It's really private, and it's really, really important, and I absolutely, positively have to see you before I go on this secret mission that is very, very risky. You must meet me at this time, at this place, because that's the only slot I have open. And it just happens to be on a day that you have a test, a major test that cannot be made up. In that case, if you're going to say, sorry, bro, I got to go to my test, you're going to feel really bad, because this is a very, very, obviously a very important matter to your twin. But if you go and meet with your twin to hear what is so urgent on their mind, and you miss the test, you can blow a scholarship that you really want. Now, in that case, whether you choose one course or you choose the other, it doesn't matter. That is a very big opportunity cost. That is a huge opportunity cost. And you feel it more or less in your gut. I mean, your stomach is turning knots. Whichever choice you make, your stomach will be turning knots. That's why it's a big opportunity cost. On the other hand, if, I don't know, I could go to class, or I could go hang out with the guys, or play pool, or play video games, I don't know, one's about the same as the other, you know, if I do one, I won't really miss the other. If I do the other, I won't really miss the one. In that case, no matter which choice you make, that would be a very low or small opportunity cost. We make our decisions, sometimes forced to make our decisions, when costs are big or costs are small, but you must notice that everybody's choice can be big or small. One person's choice to come to class could be a big opportunity cost. Another person's choice to come to class could be a small opportunity cost, because all opportunity costs are subjective. They are all subjective. We will pick up by expanding this idea of opportunity cost into production possibility curve on our next shot at it.